Welcome to our budget special on October the 30th, Return of the Black Hole. If you spend all your holiday money on day one, it's going to be a very long 2 weeks. I can still remember my mum's counsel as a child when I was considering blowing all of my holiday money on one item. Those childhood budgeting basics are good lessons which often set us up for later life. Most of us get the concept of a budget, the simple idea that you can't spend more than you have and the need to make that money stretch as far as possible. When it came to the COVID pandemic of 2020 and 2021, the last government were pretty much forced to spend all the holiday money on day one and then go borrow a load more. This was always going to store up problems, and those chickens were already coming home to roost last year as Mr. Sunak and Mr. Hunt really put the squeeze on taxpayers by slashing capital gains tax allowances and freezing income tax bans. Their mind-boggling decision, however, to abandon ship and call an early election meant that the country's finances were not properly fixed before the handover, allowing Mr. Starmer and Miss Reeves to claim a black hole existed in the everyday running of the country's budget. I won't go into several additional demands that the new government added into that black hole here. This year's budget has felt akin to knowing you must have a tooth pulled out. Never a pleasant experience. The anticipation is also most unpleasant. In this case, the dentist about to perform the operation didn't exactly calm the patient. So, was it all as bad as we were led to imagine? As many of our clients will know, I always like to focus on the parts of the budget that are particularly relevant to our typical clients' financial plans and portfolios. There was a heck of a lot happening in this budget today, so I've broken it all down into simple blocks that we can chew on together. So let's start with capital gains tax. This was the one we expected to get hit, so I wasn't surprised to see the rates rising. Currently, the rates are 10% and 20% for our clients when they trigger capital gains within their collective investment account or through sales of shares. These rates will rise to 18% and 24% respectively, bringing them into line with the CGT rates already there for second property sales. We think this is happening straight away, but we're awaiting clarification on this point. It would seem that the CGT allowance of £3,000 per person will remain intact, however, which is something. All right, what about inheritance tax? Well, this one was the nasty blow for small business owners and farmers. Agricultural relief will be slashed by April 2026, we believe, to £1 million, with only a 50% allowance on everything over this. So imagine a farm being handed through the family with a value of £2 million. There will now be a tax owed of £200,000 in this instance, invariably leading to the selling of land, reducing the farm's size and viability. Exactly the same will apply for small business owners. The bad news didn't stop there. Pensions will be caught under inheritance tax from April 2027, we believe, in the same way as ISAs, bonds and property already are. We're still seeking more detail as to whether this applies to just the over 75s or everybody. Once we know more, we shall get back to you. The only initial point I would make is that pensions are still an awesome investment, with tax relief going in and underlying tax freedom equivalent to that of an ISA whilst they remain invested. The absence of any mention on losing the 25% tax-free cash is also most welcome. Income tax. Well, nothing much to panic on over here, actually. Income tax thresholds will remain frozen, however, until 2028-2029, but there was no mention of an increase in dividend tax or interest tax rates, which is welcome news. So in summary, our initial analysis indicates that actually CIAs, collective investment funds that are not within an ISA, are not likely to be quite as unattractive as we'd maybe imagined, especially for higher rate taxpayers. ISAs appear to be safe, as do the underlying funds within pension wrappers. Over the coming days and weeks, we will be able to get to grips with more of the detail involved in this budget. We benefit from access to many tax planning experts who can update us on new rules, traps, loopholes, and solutions. We will then use these consultations to help our precious clients navigate the post-budget landscape. If you have any concerns or worries, please don't hesitate to contact us. We're here for you 100%. My very best wishes as ever.